Polish the Mirror podcast. We are back again with episode number 19. I'm your host, Amy Thurman. Thank you so much for being here, for watching, and for listening. It means so much to me that you're tuning in, that you're sharing these episodes, and that you're giving us reviews. It helps us reach more people, and that's the purpose of this, right? The whole purpose for this podcast is to allow people to share their stories of hope gained in the midst of adversity. It's a reflection of my life. I have lived the past 10 years with a broken neck and been able to find hope in the midst of that adversity. And so I wanted to create a platform for other people to share their stories that reflect mine. And so that's the purpose of this podcast. And it means so much to us, again, that you're tuning in, that you're sharing the episodes, that you're leaving reviews, and that you're telling us how much it means to you, because a lot of people are finding hope just through listening and through watching. These episodes stream live on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, all the things. And then I upload the audio to all of the podcasting platforms. So then you can find it on all of those as well. If you just search for the hashtag Polish the Mirror podcast, you can find all of the episodes there. So, all right, let's get into this. Today is going to be really, it's going to be great. I want to prepare you that it may be kind of difficult at times. We talk about difficult things here because adversity is not always easy and it's not fun. So today I have a guest with me, one of my friends. I just love meeting you, Clarissa. Thank you so much for being here and for being willing to share your story with us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Of course, of course. You're Clarissa and I met in person. Oh my gosh, probably a year or so ago. And I said, we need to stay in contact because she has such an amazing story. I knew that at some point I would be able to maybe help her share her story. And so that's what we're doing today, helping her get her story out there because I know it's going to be able to help people from what she's been through and what she's been able to do because of that. I feel like it's going to be an avenue to help a lot of people. So I'll stop talking and I'll let you just jump right in. Clarissa, feel free to share whatever it is you want to share. Obviously, I'm not going to press and prod, but I want you to share whatever you want to share. And the stage is yours.
Thank you for having me.
Of
I want to
course.
talk today about share my story so that I can help whoever is in the same domestic violence relationship or I am an advocate, and I believe that there is still hope even when you feel like there's no more hope. And so, about a few years back, in 2012, I have went into a relationship with a man that has was an alcoholic, and he would wake me up in the middle of the night beating on me,
Mm,
and it was very, very hard. I felt alone. I mean, I would cry and do anything he wants me to do, even turn towards other things that I'm not very proud of. But I remember praying and telling God, like, I know that there's a way, that it was my first time into a relationship like this. And so he he was very, very jealous, and I thought that was normal. I thought that
mm,
like everybody was like this. And so I finally was able to go into a shelter, and it's called a safe haven women shelter, and they're all over America. And so whenever I went down to the police station, and my friend was like, you need to report this, what he did, he actually threatened my life,
mm,
and he was going out of town, and he was like, if when I come back, I better not find out anyone was here. Well, I didn't have no friends. They take you away from your family, your friends. So if you start noticing someone that used to talk to you, used to come into family functions, that's the number one sign that something isn't right, that maybe you need to reach out. So I went down to the police station and I made a report, and they are like, do you feel safe at home right now? And I was like, no, I don't. And so I remember the police officer took me down to the safe haven shelter because it's in secret. No one can find it. You can't look up the address. It is safe. And there is security cameras on the whole block ratio of the whole entire safe haven where it's located. So
Wow.
yeah, it's amazing. So I remember getting out of my car, out of the police officer's car, and it just hit me with emotions. I started crying and I was like, how did I end up here? You literally leave from everything behind to save your own life. And so they were able to get me on my feet, get me a protection order. And as soon as the protection order happened, I was able to have my own apartment and I got out of that. And I never went back. It takes someone 8 times to go back and forth 8 times of leaving and going back. And I had in my mind, I am strong, I am young, and I'm not going back. And I didn't go back. Then I met my ex-husband. I wrote my book, was married to him. I met him in church, and we were married for about 5 years. And so whenever we were married, after we left the church, I started noticing the jealousy, and I started noticing the control of what to wear and what not to wear, and it started getting really bad with his anger. And about 4 times, he put his hands on me around my neck, and it was, at first it was shocking. He
Yeah.
apologized immediately. I was just sitting there on the tub, just like, what just happened? And he apologized immediately. And then every single time, it took longer and longer and longer for him to apologize. And at times said that he would black out. He don't even remember doing it. And then the last time he did it was the final straw with my own kids. My son was 8. He's 15 now. He was 8 at the time, and he finally did it. My youngest, my son came home from school, and he is disabled, but he came home from school, and he was upset, some kind of jealousy, and I had to read my own book the last time he did it, in chapter 6. In my book, it's called Mounting Higher. And in chapter 6, it's called Bygones Be Bygones. And I had, at the back of the chapter, is a safety plan. What you need to do, how you could come up with a plan to escape your domestic violence situation. And so I I already contacted my dad the week before he did this. I said, Dad, I came off of a cruise, and I said, Dad, he did it. This is what's going on. And if I text you, I want you to send the police to my address. And so he was begging me, please don't go back. Like, I don't want you in the ground. Like, I want you alive. You don't deserve that. And he was furious, you know?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so whenever this happened, I had already had a plan. And so he banged me up against the door, put his hands around my neck, and I couldn't breathe. I couldn't breathe at all. And
Wow.
so I was just in shock. Like, I was just in complete shock. Like, I had a concussion. And so I was able to go to the door and go to the bathroom. And he was right outside of the other side of the door listening and seeing if I was calling anyone or if I was talking to anybody and see if I was calling the police. And
Right.
so he was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, I'm just using the bathroom." But really, I text my dad and his
Good.
girlfriend at the time. His my dad never got the text, but his girlfriend did. His
Wow.
girlfriend did. In the state of Texas, at the time, I don't know if it changed now, but you couldn't text 911. In other states, you actually can for either hard of hearing or deaf people or domestic violence. You can text 911. And so I didn't know I couldn't. So I text my dad and text her. My dad never got the text, but she did. She called
Mm,
911 out, and they actually arrested him and took him to jail, took me to the hospital, and he actually admitted of doing it. And
wow.
not many people in that situation that do stuff like that actually admits it. They
Yeah.
try to admit and say, "Oh no, you did this and you did that and you said this." There is no reason for anybody to put their hands on you. Your
Right.
body is
Exactly.
your own.
Yes.
And so whenever I went into the shelter again, I had 3 kids with me, you know, and you come from nothing. So I went from nothing to now on my own, and now I'm free from that, and I'm happier than ever. Like,
Mm,
and my goal is to right now to whenever you feel like there's no hope and they're calling you names, if there is a circle. So in this circle is you have the anger. It's first the honeymoon stage.
mm-hmm.
They're all sweet, they're kind, they're nice, and then it goes to tension. And then so that tension you build up to the outburst, to the big boom. And so after the big boom, then they apologize. And then after they apologize, and I promise I'll never do it again, they will do it again.
Yeah.
And then the honeymoon stage, everything's good. And it just goes around and around and around. And so I felt like there was no hope whenever I was in it. I just, anything I say, who are you talking to? And severe jealousy and control. They want to
Yeah.
control you. And they feel like you are weak because they have to control you and they get jealous. And so to leave is the scariest thing of my life, but it was the most successful, the most happiness. Like, I'm alive right now. You
Yes.
know,
Yes.
it could have been bad, but I'm
Yeah.
alive right now, you know, and I have my kids. And eventually, if they do it to you, they'll do it to your kids.
Right.
So there's still hope out there. And so the place so you, I came from nothing. And whenever I went in, they provide clothes, they provide transportation, housing, and it's a security. Like, they provide security, even legal aid. They paid for my court cost.
Wow.
And so they're able to get the DA to see if they are taking your case. And so it's a lot of support than what you think. You're not there alone, you
Mm,
know.
yeah.
And so um I know that I see a lot of videos about how people are actually silent in these relationships and they don't know how to get out. They
Mhm.
don't know how to even make the first step. And so the first step is make a safety plan.
Yes.
Whenever you have time alone, call the Safe Haven number hotline. They're all over America, no matter where you're located. It's a Safe Haven hotline, and they will help you. They will find resources in your area that will help you and provide for you the comfort and the information that you need. So it don't only have to be a relationship. It can be a family member, a friend that's doing this, stalking, anything. So call the number that you see and they will be able to help you. Um, Also, they can help provide for cars. You know,
Mm.
there are the companies that actually donate their cars for these women. And so
That's
that,
amazing.
yeah, there's,
Yeah.
and whenever I was in there, I was like, these women are so beautiful.
Oh,
Like, how can some of them go back? And some of them
yeah.
did, unfortunately. But it's just, being an advocate that never give up. Even if you went back again and again, this next time you'll be able to get out. There's always hope. Never
Yeah.
give up.
Exactly. I have put the National Domestic Violence Hotline number on the screen for those of you listening. That number is 800-799-7233. 800-799-7233. And they can connect you to the safe haven or the place that's local to you that Clarissa is talking about, where they can help protect you. And I want to go back to something that you mentioned that first of all, in addition to being an educator, I was also a social worker, and part of my training included domestic violence awareness. And so, one of the things I was responsible for doing in these situations was helping people develop a safety plan. And so, all the things you're saying, although I have not experienced it, I have been on the other end of helping people follow through and create their plan, and have seen what it can do to people. And I saw a show one time, which I don't know how accurate those are, but in my work as a social worker, I saw this play out many times. And I want to bring this up because I know it's happening, it's out there. That, as you said, it takes 8 times for a person to leave for
Hmm.
good. And I saw that play itself out over and over again. And it's obvious to us on the outside looking in that you need to get out of there. It's not healthy. It's not a safe place for you. But I want you to understand, if there's someone in your life who is going through this, or if you're going through this, it's not that easy. These women can't just say, okay, I'm done. I'm leaving. There's so much more to it. And if you want to talk about that for a minute, Clarissa, would you mind to share a
Yes.
little bit about that?
Yes. I may cry.
It's okay. That
um,
tears are healing. We cry around here.
so, um, sorry.
It's okay.
Someone told me whenever I was dating my ex boyfriend, whenever you leave, the friend that took me to the police station, she said, whenever you leave, you will feel this whole weight come off of your shoulders. I didn't understand that. So one night, he was on the phone, and I had told my dad what was going on, and he was like, I'm coming to get you right now. And it was at night, so he was on a business call. And so I went inside. I was at my friend's house next door, and he was upset I was even there. I
Mhm.
went next door, called my dad, and he said, I'm coming and getting you right now. He came, sorry, my son.
That's
Um,
okay.
he came in and said, I'm on my way. I went inside and I put one outfit inside my purse, and I left, and I went next door. And my dad had to show up without any lights on in his
Mhm.
car. And he showed up, and I got in the back and I left. I left my clothes. I left my grandma's blanket that she made me.
Gosh.
I left everything, my shoes, my furniture, everything. And so I remember when I left, like I just started crying. Like
Yeah.
how did this happen to me? How did this happen to me? How did I get myself in this situation? I was blaming myself when really it wasn't my fault. I was
Right.
deceived
Yes.
into thinking this human being was a good person.
Mhm.
So the first signs of someone that is a, is a first red flags of someone like this is that they love bomb you when they're first meeting you. They love bomb you, so they send you a whole bunch of gifts and you say I love you really fast, and they want to constantly text you, want to constantly talk to you. They love bomb you. They come on really strong, and sometimes people are very attracted to that, thinking, oh,
Mhm.
that's normal. And that's not normal.
Yeah.
Know your boundaries, know these signs, and don't rush into it really fast, because it could save you. By knowing these signs can save you from these type of people that
Yes.
will do it. So um, that was just leaving. Is, yes, it's hard, but you're strong enough to do it. You're
Yeah.
strong enough, and find your support group, find your peers, reach out to your family or your friends that you haven't talked to, and tell them the honest truth, what's really going on, you know.
Yeah, and what I saw when I worked with these ladies and, when I was a social worker was that there was that cycle where they would leave and they would come back and leave and come back, and then their family members would start to pretty much disown them because they were telling them, "You why are you doing this?" They didn't understand the cycle, that it can be part of the process, that they may eventually leave, but this cycle has to kinda play itself out first. And
Yeah.
so I feel like we really need to talk to the family members as well,
Hmm.
that it's important that they understand that there is a cycle involved, and the more you can just love them through that and don't try to pretty much disown them or threaten them that if they don't stay this time you're going to disown them, that that's not helping matters, that
Yeah.
continuing to love them through the process is really what's going to help them get out of there. Would you say that's true?
Yes, that is so true. I mean, I know family gets tired of time and time again. Oh, you went back, and they're upset about it. And it's like they don't know. Usually, two things that I have came up with why someone goes back is, one is children.
Yeah.
You have kids with this person, and you want the other person to be in their lives. And two, financial.
Mhm.
And so if you get your financial stability and to figure out how you could work with children, or if you don't have children but work, there are government programs. It's called CCMS here in Texas. Sorry, um,
It's okay, don't worry about it.
where you can actually, they'll pay for your daycare for your children. And
Wow.
so while you work too, and even after they get home from school, like they'll pick them up from school and the daycare, so there are ways that you can actually leave and not go back. But the family needs to understand the connection.
Yeah.
Like, it's always not give up hope. never give up that hope, because all it takes is one time they do something and they're gone. And so to be there to
Yeah.
let them know, hey, I'm always here. I'm always here. Always be like, yeah, this is the time you're not going to go back. And if they go back, okay, this is a net time that you're not going to go back. Always have that motivation, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I have found in my life, throughout my life, that love goes much further than threats or and things
Mm-hmm.
like that, that it just because they need to know that you're still there. This cycle will continue, but if they know that you're still there, there will be that one time where they give you that call and it's going to stick. It's going to be the one
Mm-hmm.
time that they actually do leave. And so
Yeah.
I feel like that from a person who has not experienced domestic violence as you have. But I have, like I said, helped people in from the other side of it, that I feel like it's important for family members to know that as well. So,
Well, I actually did go back after he did that.
yeah,
I it was more financial, and my dad was very upset, and he was furious, like, I don't want you to be in the grounds, like, why would you even think of going back?
yeah,
And he said it out of love, you know
right.
but also I felt like I didn't have nobody at the time, but I was still able to get away and stay away, and now we co-parent. We're able to co-parent now,
Wow. That's great.
so he has gotten better, went to anger management and everything, but I was able to get away. I was able to
Yeah,
stay away even after
yeah,
one time I went back, and I had kids with him. So I was able to get away, and even being upset, yeah, you're allowed to be upset as a family member, but no matter if you can't understand, just be there for them and be a support, and tell them how much you love them and how much you're proud of them for everything else.
exactly. And
Uh,
what I love about your story is that you have gone through all of that and you're able to finally get away and to stay away and to figure out how to parent in a healthy way, to co-parent in a healthy way. But now you're taking your experience and you're actually using it to help other people. So you're going back to these places where you stayed and you're sharing your story of what happened to you and how you did it and giving them hope that they can do it too. And that is such a
yeah,
beautiful thing. I feel like because that's pretty much what I do too. I have taken the pain that I have endured and now I use it for a purpose. And I feel like that's pretty much what you're doing too, right?
yeah. Yeah, I'm fine. It took, oh my goodness, it took years to finally find myself again.
Yeah.
Not to someone like the name of your podcast, Polish the Mirror. I mean, come on. Well, polish the mirror. You are beautiful. And helping out other people that are out there, the
Yeah.
pain that they're going through, and to give back to the people that helped me. You know, there's still hope. And so I have found myself by through counseling, incense counseling. I have focused on who I am, because for a long time I didn't know who I was because
Yes.
I was told who I was.
Mm-hmm.
So doing that and loving myself, and it has is very hard, or easier said than done, but it's still possible to find yourself, to know who you are, and to get back on your feet, and helping these other people. My heart goes out to them. There's this thing that I wanted to talk about, is
Sure.
with my ex-husband that did what he did around my neck.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he was There's this famous guy, I forgot his name, sorry.
That's
And
okay. Happens to me all the time.
he was in a he was speaking, at this event, and he said that it takes a woman 700 more times likely to die from the hands of strangulation into homicide.
Wow.
And he said that this woman, after the event, sorry, my son,
That's okay. Is he staying right
he's schizophrenic, and
there? It's
so
okay. I was gonna say, let's say hi to him. If he's hanging out right there, we can say hi. Is that what he
um
wants?
no,
Okay.
he's just,
Okay.
it's fine.
Wow.
um
No worries. Don't apologize. It's just life. It's how it is.
so he said that this woman after the event came to him, and she said, I just wanted to let you know that my ex-husband strangled me 7 times, and she had 5 aneurysms, and
Wow.
said her next aneurysm will be her last
Mm.
because of 10 years ago when he did that.
Oh my goodness.
And so the lasting effects of someone doing that to you, you may not see it. You may feel good, but it's later on in life that this can happen to your body. So what they're doing, whether it's strangulation or whether it's other things, it does something to your body physically, emotionally, mentally. Well, that's the same thing, but um that's why it's also important to leave the stress from it. And so I am
So
happy.
well, I was just going to say, so it may not actually kill you, but it may injure you to a degree that you may not be able to function later on in your life, which I don't
Yes.
think people think about. They're just thinking about survival in the moment when it can actually injure you further down the road so that you can't function, as you're in adult life. So I think that's a really good point to bring up.
Yeah. I don't know if my aneurysm was from that, but because I had surgery right before, I had my aneurysm passed about 6 months ago.
Yeah,
But I can say it did take a toll on my body,
I
you
imagine.
know. Um, and so there's always hope out there. There's so much happiness out there than this mind controlling person that wants to just control you and use you. Don't listen to the negative stuff, how they say, "Oh, you're stupid. You'll never be anything. You'll never be anyone without me." And I don't want you wearing makeup. And don't listen to that. You know, don't listen to that, because that is not normal.
Hmm.
Because for a long time I didn't know what normal was anymore. And so
Yeah.
that's not normal for anyone to call you those names or control you like that. So always know your signs. If you don't know, Google what's the signs of domestic violence. There's so much information out there, there's so much help out there, that all you have to do is make that first step. And that first step is searching. That first step is being protected, being safe.
Hmm. Yes, exactly. And to see you now doing so well, having come
Mhm.
through that, I think will give a lot of people hope that, okay, she has been where I am, or I was, and now she's doing so well and she's helping other people through her story. Maybe I can do this. And so that is the whole
Yes.
purpose of this platform. I just love it so much, like that's why we do what we do, is to just help people find hope and know that there's a different way. There's another way than what you're finding right now, and that other people have found it, and other people are willing to help you find it if you're willing to just take that step and ask for help. And so I want to
Yeah.
put up your email address here For those of you who are watching or listening, if this is resonating with you and you think, I need some help, I really would like to connect with Clarissa. Her story really resonates with me, and I think maybe I want to connect with her. Then she has given me her email to share with you, and it is ClarissaPerkins87@gmail.com. If you're listening on the podcasting platforms, I will put this in the show notes so that you can just click on it to send her an email. And I know that she'll be able to help you, right? Clarissa, you're just available to
Yes,
help.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. I am always here. I want to share my story bigger. I want to get out more, and always email me and I will email right back. And I feel free anytime, day or night.
Is there, just this thought just came to me, so I need to say it. For people who maybe have eyes watching their emails, is there a code word that they can use for the subject for you?
Pizza.
Pizza. Okay.
Anytime you are in a domestic violence situation, that I know a whole bunch of people have seen this where it's a show, but pizza, you can actually call 911 actually if you're in an instant uh, information, like whatever situation where you would need immediate life or dangerous situation. Say you want to order some pizza, and they will know that that code word means safe. Or if you want to talk about pizza, email me. um,
Okay.
so that pizza is the main known thing to say when you're in a domestic violence situation. Oh, I have pizza right now. And I mean, there's so many ways to say it. So,
Yeah. That's
yeah.
so good to know. I'm so glad I mentioned that because I didn't know that.
You
I didn't know
didn't?
that. No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And the 911 operator will be like, okay, do they have this? Do they have that? Say extra pepperoni. Do they have,
Oh.
yeah, yeah.
So they'll walk you through
They'll
the
walk you
additional
through.
code words to
Mm-hmm.
say to
Yeah.
answer their questions. So it will
Yes.
sound like, so the person with you, it will sound like you're ordering a pizza when you're actually
Yes.
talking to 911.
Yes.
That's amazing. Oh,
Because
I have chills right now.
you have to give your address to order pizza delivered.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Wow. My
Yeah.
brain is just exploding a little bit right now. So I'm trying to take this
Yeah.
in. That's brilliant. That's really,
Yeah.
really good. Okay. So people probably knew that, but I didn't. But that's so the code word, if you want to email Clarissa and you have extra eyes watching your emails, then pizza. Just put the subject pizza
Mm-hmm.
and then tell her I'm dealing or just that I want to order some pizza or talk about pizza in some way. And she will know that that's what you mean, that you
Yeah.
watch this and that you need to talk about that or want to connect with her about domestic violence. Oh my gosh, this I could talk to you
Yes.
forever. Like literally, there's so much you could share and so much you have learned
Yeah.
that can help other people. But our time is up, and so I need to wrap this up now. But I'm so, so thankful for you and for your story and your vulnerability and being willing to come on this platform and share this with other people in a way that will bring hope and healing to them. And so I just thank you so, so much, Clarissa, for being here
Thank you for
today.
having me. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
of course. It's always an honor, always a pleasure to chat with you. And Clarissa's book, I want to mention that one more time, was written, several years ago, but there is a chapter in it on domestic violence that has a safety plan. It's called Mounting Higher, and can that be found on Amazon?
It will be found on, I think, Amazon and also lulu.com. It's lulu.com.
Okay.
And you can just type that in and you'll be able to find it.
Okay. Mounting Higher by was it Clarissa Taylor or
Clarissa Perkins at the time.
Clarissa Perkins? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you can go find that book too. All right. Is there anything
Yeah.
else you'd like to share before we hop off here, Clarissa?
Nope, that's about it.
Okay. Well, again, thank you so much for being here. For those of you watching and listening, thank you so much. that you're the reason that I'm able to do this, because you're watching, you're listening, you're sharing, you're leaving reviews, and you're helping these stories reach more people. And so that's what this is about. We're all about sharing hope and helping people find healing. So thank you so much. And again, if you have found this helpful and think it will be helpful for others, please share it. Please leave us a 5-star review so that we can reach more people. And I will be back next week with episode number 20. So y'all have a good week. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.